Wasteland. This is Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9002, episode 70. I'm your host, SneakyDevil, now with less sick, but still sick. And we are joined today by Max and Atin. Hey guys, say hello.
End my suffering.
Piece of shit screaming in my fucking ear, fuck you.
Listen,
I mean,
listen.
At
That's
this point,
just life with this man.
you really should have expected it, honestly, at this point.
I honestly, it's always interesting remembering, like, oh yeah, other people haven't learned how to tune out Sneaky's greetings like I have. It's like, strangely enough, I actually have some of the best hearing among my groups of friends. I just pretend not to because I've learned how to tune dumb shit out.
Courtesy of a certain individual.
Hey
No,
man,
not even that.
all I'm
School
saying
lunchrooms,
is
man.
that you can objectively say
lunchrooms too
I
loud.
have objectively helped Max, which means it's a net positive.
At best, Sneaky, you helped me to refine it further from my high school and middle school lunchrooms.
See, when I was in
is
high
how I
school, I would just give a 1,000-yard stare and people would stop talking to me.
No, I'm just talking about how loud our lunchrooms would get.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, that too, but, you know.
That's how
I
learned
never
how to
ate
tune
in
shit out.
lunchroom because I made friends with all the teachers and shit, so they were just like, yeah, it's totally cool that you can just, you know, buy 8 chicken patties and then walk out of the lunchroom with them just bulging out of your pockets, even though it's blatantly against the school rules.
Nah, man, no, listen. A lot of people complain about being in third lunch at my high school. I loved it, though, because the lunch ladies were always like, it's third lunch, we still have a bunch of leftovers. You kids just get extra servings.
I mean,
Get free
I've told
servings.
this story about how I pranked one of my teachers one time with the chicken patties and my fishing vest.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, good times.
Well, you've told us. I don't know if you've told the stream.
Well, while I'm looking for a fic, I suppose I'll tell that story. So,
Oh,
basically...
hold on, Sneaky. They're asking if we remember the pacer test.
What the... What? Who's asking where?
Let's see. That was, Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, a nice digger. The fitness gram pacer test. I assume he's talking about school.
Yeah, I'm
That's-
assuming...
That's Arn, and he
Oh.
put that at 7 o'clock,
So
which
anyway,
was 5 minutes ago.
so now that Atin's done interrupting me for stupid comments...
Listen, I will interrupt you whenever I damn well please.
Oh,
Alright.
you want a fun observation? I think GameStop is going down in the next 3 months because I was like, I'll use the rest of my points to get a bunch of like eShop money. to
So
put on
what
my
you're
Nintendo
saying
account.
is invest in puts on GameStop.
No. They got rid of like all of their digital currency except for the $10 PSN wallet, and that's it. Oh wait, is that gone now? Oh no.
No, I'm
Oh,
I'm
even
saying
that's gone.
stocks. I'm talking about stocks. Anyway,
stocks?
so let's have a Pokemon effect.
Oh yeah, no. All of their digital currency is just no longer available for trade-in with your points. They gonna die. Oh.
So anyway,
GameStop, how little I care.
this is the fic we're gonna cover. It's called You Know Nothing, Jon Snow. It's a Pokemon self-insert original character fic.
Oh boy.
What?
Yeah. Anyway, so the story, before we start the story, is I bought about 6 chicken patties. And I used to wear a fisherman's vest. I still have the vest. I just don't wear it anymore. Because, you know...
Because it doesn't fit?
Well, no, it still fits me.
Oh.
It's just... I don't need that many pockets anymore. Because, you know, I used to, you know, be in school and shit, and I would need pockets to hold things. Now I go to work, and I have, you know, a uniform I have to wear, and I don't need to hold that many things. So it's not very useful anymore. But anyway, so I had this fisherman's vest, and it had a lot of freaking pockets, very deep pockets too. But there was one specific pocket that I really liked using for this, and it was the pocket that took up the entire back of the vest. And so I slipped 6 chicken patties into the lower back pocket of the vest. And as the teacher would turn around, I would pull one out and start eating one. And then I would finish eating it. She would turn back around to go write something on the board. And when she turned back around again, there would be another patty in my hand. And I did this, 6 times. To the point where she finally turned around again, saw there was no patty, and was like, Jesus Christ, why did you buy so many?
Oh yes, this is one of your favorite stories to tell.
Because, it's six chicken patties, which...
Yeah, well, it's
great.
that fun gag. It's that fun visual gag of like, it's like, oh, look at this dumb head I've got. Get rid of that. Throw throw it out the window. They turn it back around. What? Why do you have another?
Where are you pulling these from?
Well, no, the objective is to have the same hat several times.
Yes,
while
that is
making
it.
You've thrown it out.
Yes, that.
Well, no, there's
sorry,
multiple gags. No, Atin, there's multiple gags. There's the multi-bucket gag, where you're running around with, in this example, a bucket on your head, and someone pulls the bucket off your head, being, frustrated with you running around with a bucket on your head, and underneath the bucket, it's just another bucket. And they're just like, why? That's one gag. The other gag that Max is talking about is every single time the person turns back around, you're changing things. And so then there you go, why? Also, how do you have all of this stuff? That's the key.
To which your answer is, of course,
And then, of course, there's the one that Atin mentioned, which also rolls into that, except instead of different things, it's always the same. Such as, a good example is the Super Best Friends before they split. They had a video where, for some reason, one of them had bought 4 of the same Fatal Fury hat.
Yeah.
It just kept putting one on every time the camera went off him.
Anyway.
This old slapstick. I wish we had more Three Stooges stuff in this day and age.
I mean, if we ever actually get enough money to support the 3 of us sharing an apartment, we can actually do that.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, you guys aren't gonna get a text from me or anything saying like I won the lottery. It's gonna be, hey, how soon can you pack your bags and send in your resignation?
there's I was gonna say, no, it's actually just some guy in like a PMC outfit just knocks on your door. Sir, we've been asked to relocate you. Anyway, so this is nothing, Jon Snow.
What does this even have to do with fucking Pokemon? I don't want to know, but I want to know.
I never realized how much the phrase about life giving you lemons resonated with me until all this malarkey happened. Okay, well, the phrase life giving you lemons is a general phrase that can pretty much apply to nearly 99% of the population. Because only a microscopic portion of the population actually has the money to comfortably deal with literally anything happening to them. You might be looking at someone like, oh, they own 4 businesses. It's like, yeah, but, maybe they also only take away a profit of, like, 5,000. Because, they have 20 employees, and they gotta buy stock, and, as in stock is inventory. And, so there's lots of costs. Yeah, they're pulling in 120K, but they're paying, 100K every month. Fuck the first person OC, I'm going to go shoot someone. Do not go shoot someone. That would be bad. Because then
Then
you
we'll
would
be labeled as a bunch of, like, insane, violence-starting Twitch streamers when really we're just shit posters.
Well, I mean, yes, that, but I was more concerned with the fact that if he's in jail, he can't subscribe to me anymore.
That's not true.
Oh, that's right, he's Norwegian.
If he's a model prisoner, he can still get Twitch.
Is that how that works? Whoa!
Well, I mean, prisoners do get privileges, which for the really good ones can include internet access.
Anyway, I should be dead. Instead, I was dropped into the world of Pokemon, turned into a 9-year-old that looked nothing like I used to, and
Wow, max security in Norway is really fucking lax, apparently.
yeah,
Norway's a
Sweden.
kooky, crazy.
Like, holy
place.
shit, max security in America. Nah, man, you on lockdown. This is your hole.
Well, I think it was Sweden that was like, yeah, max security. They all basically get full apartments, and if they're good enough, they get knives and forks and like Xboxes and shit. And it's like, okay, well that's great,
Well,
but
and
your rate of
some of them get,
recidivism
like,
is also low.
I would say low security ones get like jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, Haldane prison. No, it's Norway. Okay, so that was the Okay, yeah. I mean, I remember like in a social studies, like a literal social studies class, a psychological studies class in college that I was taking. We covered the Haldane prison. Um, I mean, it's a great system. Don't get me wrong, but the natural recidivism rate in Norway is around 10 to 20%, which is massively lower than the natural recidivism rate despite whatever we're doing in the US. It goes around 40 to 80%, depending on the location and the treatment.
Location, crime.
Yeah, and the crime. But the problem here is in the U.S., the recidivism rate is way freaking higher, and let me tell you, it's not because of other reasons. It's because of the differences between Norway and the U.S. Anyway, so self-insert OC decides that as a 9-year-old, he's gonna go become a Pokemon trainer in the Pokemon world.
Yes, well, that is what most 9-year-olds in the Pokemon universe do anyway.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the problem.
Yep. This is also version 2.
Slight problem.
Oh boy. Okay, well this is it's got 3,000 favorites, which I also marked as humor, so this is bound to be something. Anyway. It was time, I was ready. I was just minutes away from losing my virginity, my skydiving virginity to be specific.
Oh, look how funny he is!
He did the bait and switch, guys. That's
We all totally fell for it. Kill me.
I mean, it was a bit of an exaggerated reaction from Atin, but the old bait and switch of you, like, giving a second to let people make assumptions, that's more of a, visual gag, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would say, like, here's the thing, like, in order for that joke to actually work, you would start with that joke with, like, a black screen, and then from there, cut to him with, like, a helmet on, or, like, putting on, like, the leather suit, so people are like, oh, he's getting freaky.
Well, no, not even that. You could just have it be, a black screen in this specific joke, and he's breathing heavily, and you could have like a high-paced heartbeat or something like that, and it's his inner thoughts. Time to lose my virginity, and then the screen flashes, and it's him falling out of a plane. My skydiving virginity.
Yeah, point
You
is,
know.
it's a visual gag, and there's a lot more. There's many better ways you could run that gag.
Oh well,
None
not
of
only
them
that,
include
it's just
writing.
it's not even like visual gag is visual gag's the wrong, I guess, wording for me. It's more of like an in-person gag. Like the humor of it is better the more of the person you can interact with. I guess is the best way to put it. It's one of you have to be there jokes.
I hear you.
I don't know. I was both terrified and awe-inspired all at once. Okay. This was the best 18th birthday present ever. I think we all know where this is going. Offering a hell of a lot of filler information without any background information. Okay, so the author is Deadpool. Well, hmm. Okay, yeah, no, hold on. Okay. Let's see, I actually have a fairly good response to this. Let me just pull that one up and make sure that's it. Yep, okay. And let me find out here. Is this it?
That's cool and all, but
yeah,
I got somewhere else to be.
It. But fucking Windows, are we really doing this, Windows? Are we really doing this? Okay.
That's cool and all, but I got somewhere else to be.
Just then being a bitch again.
No, Windows was just like, hey, let's just play your file on the one window you can't see. You got a big brain.
Of course.
To anyone that missed it, it was a clip of someone cocking a revolver and saying they had better places to be.
Ah, yes, one of your favorite clips as of late.
But, I mean, it's a very applicable one. I'm also offering this is, by the way, not an author's note. This is the author, unironically, having a inner monologue as if he's about to do the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air opening.
Oh, people, please. Leave the Fresh Prince alone. It's been mangled and maligned enough over
I am
years.
also offering a hell of a lot of filler information without any background information to compensate for those who are watching. So let's just back it up a bit. Hi. Hello, person that is currently reading this. My name is Jonathan Snow, affectionately called Jon Snow by everyone. I would affectionately call you a dumbass. While we're being PC, I suppose. Because I have yet to receive word back from Twitch if I'm allowed to do the hard R. Not the NR, but the hard standard R. Because they apparently don't like people using the hard R. Anyway, yes, I am perfectly aware that my name, Jon Snow, is famous. No, I am not the reason it's famous. No one ever would assume that. No, actually, a lot of people would assume that the opposite is true. Specifically because I would rather be... I don't know what would I rather be doing? I would rather be trying to fisticuff a bear coated in bees.
Well, have fun with that.
I was not born the bastard son of Edward Stark, Lord of Winterfell and Warden of North. If only you were. Just then I wouldn't have to read this. I am a bastard, however. Ha 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 ha.
So your parents were just real assholes then?
Blah blah blah. George R. R. Martin's the best. Blah blah blah. Which correction, author, he's not. He's middling.
There are significantly better fantasy authors out there.
He is middling, at best. A lot of people give him far too much credit for the fact that he tries to write a quote realist quote fantasy story, and I say realist quote because it's not realistic in the slightest. He does a decent, fair share of research, however, which is far beyond anything that you will ever do in your life. But I say realistic, quote unquote, because, well, how best to put this? Oh, how best to put this? He gets quite a bit wrong. Some of the things he got about castles are correct, some of them not so much. He's got a terrible style. Personally, I feel the sheer level of characters and how he loves killing them all is interesting and different, but not interesting and different as in this is an improvement, interesting and different. It's just interesting and different. He's the only one that does it, really, as far as the fantasy world is concerned. I'm not too sure about sci-fi or whatever, but anyway. That was actually also a line in the story. Anyway. Just anyway. Because you always gotta pause your geeking and fanboying while you're inside an inner monologue, talking to the people who are currently reading your words. Because you are Deadpool, and you know you're in a story. I'm a bastard.
That's a wild jorp.
Oh, hey, Jorp.
No, I don't like this new Twitch redesign at all.
Don't worry, everyone's complained.
Okay, this is my first time. I just pulled up your stream too, because I like to have that open when I join in as a guest. But it is my first time actually looking at it since the redesign, and holy shit, this is garbage.
I wouldn't know. I've only looked at one part of Twitch, and that is the creator dashboard.
Well, I'm sorry that you don't have friends whose live streams you watch, but for the rest of us, we're getting fucked.
You know, Jorp, I am too. If only I had friends who streamed their games.
I know. I'm actually halfway through Untitled Goose Game now. It's pretty fun. I would recommend it to all of you guys. It's a great game.
Yeah.
Oh, that released?
Yeah, a couple days ago.
I saw a clip for that on Monday, and I was like, I'm required to play this because this seems adorable and very well designed.
Oh gosh, for a cute little puzzle game, it's supposed to only be like 5 or 6 hours long. It was only $14.99 though. I think I'm like halfway through.
Shit. 5 to 6 hours for a $15 game. That's actually not a bad deal.
Yeah, like I streamed it for about 3 hours.
And that's a
the
great
other night.
price.
Yeah, no, but it's very fun, good puzzles. I would wholeheartedly recommend it. But hey, what are we reading tonight? This
We're currently reading a self-insert Pokemon fanfic where an 18-year-old man
Bangs Misty?
No, gets killed and ends up in the Pokemon universe as a 9-year-old, and he decides to become a Pokemon trainer.
Well,
However,
what is this,
we
an
are
Onision
currently
fanfic?
reading the prologue of this story, and so far the author has decided to go with a first-person perspective, which, being a self-insert, I suppose is to be expected. But they have also decided that their character is Deadpool, aware that they are in a story, and they decided to do a fresh Prince of Bel-Air intro.
So basically, this is the best fanfic.
One could objectively say it is the best fanfic to convince someone to self-terminate.
So this is not You Know Nothing Jon Snow.
This is You Know Nothing Jon Snow.
No, this is just some guy who has Jon Snow's name.
This is someone who has proceeded to spend the last 4 paragraphs talking about how they love George R.R. Martin, their name just happens to be Jon Snow, and they also happen to be a bastard child. and that they know they are not the reason why the name Jon Snow is famous. Just in case you were confused on that one.
Well, that sounds like a hell of a story.
Anyway, so he also loves using old words like malarkey and mang and other fun words that literally no one would ever use in this day and age.
He's one of those old world souls, man. He's too cool. He's too cool for your school.
So he's an orphan, and he went to an orphanage in San Francisco. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Orphanages are bad. Blah blah blah. I was lucky though. Blah blah blah. Blah blah. I got a career as a voice actor in San Francisco. Well, I have seen enough news leaks to know where this is going. He's gonna get raped.
Also, he by the time he was 14 years old, he'd been able to plow his way through the field enough to earn roles in video games, commercials, and even a few cartoons.
Indeed. And his opportunities were so vast, he actually got into the world of acting with more than just his voice. And he was never able to break out of plays, though. Even with all of his massive amounts of voice acting that he did across multiple mediums, he's actually super poor. And he was very, very unsure of his safety at the orphanage now.
He's also a fucking manlet. What is that? At 18, I barely stood 5'6".
Yeah.
That's how you know it's a self-insert. He's apprehensive about his own height as a writer, but he makes himself such a cool fucking character. It's like, oh, well, we'll overlook the fact that he can barely get above
he's
the
having
average
this
woman's
whole
titties.
inner monologue flashback. I'm telling you my story. I bet you're wondering how I got into this position thing. Because he's currently skydiving. And he was like, freeze frame, I bet you're wondering why I'm skydiving right now. Well, let me give you some backstory to my life.
I love those. Get the music going. I bet you're wondering how I got here.
Which, I mean, really only works well when it's a completely ridiculous situation where, it's like you're falling off a cliff while a clown is shooting a minigun at you, flying with a jetpack while police are shooting at velociraptors. And that is the moment where I will accept a freeze frame, I bet you're wondering how I got here situation. Because yes, I am, in this moment, actually wondering why you're falling off a cliff, fighting a clown with a jetpack and a minigun, while the police stand by and shoot at velociraptors.
I'll be honest, you got me there.
Congratulations!
You got me there, governor!
You've Jotaro'd me. And yes, that is a JoJo reference. Max is speechless.
I still think my favorite JoJo moment was
Because
when
I'm trying to figure out if you used the correct JoJo or not.
My favorite is far and away when JoJo pulled a machine gun out of literal nowhere.
I don't know enough about JoJo and his bizarre adventure to comment.
That is, well, to be honest, that's one of the best introductions you get to a JoJo. I'm here to kill you. Nah, unloads Tommy 20 into a storefront.
Just full on wrecks a storefront.
It has a barrel magazine too, which makes it has a drum that makes it better.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's like he fucking.
I think one of my favorite parts is one of the characters goes, "Where the fuck did you get that?"
Why did you just
Never
start
answers
shooting
the question.
No, he doesn't.
Anyway, so to be more blunt, I was a runt. Ha ha! Right now, at the age of 18, I barely stood at 5'6", like a manlet. At 14, I wasn't even 5 feet tall. So as both a runt and the only kid in the orphanage that has any money, I was the most common target for bullying. Nobody beat the shit out of me or anything, but I had my shares of scars. Do you want to know how I got these scars?
I'm the Joker, baby.
Leave the Joker out of this.
There's two kinds of people in this world.
You guys ever seen that video though? It's literally some guy's audition tape, like amateur audition tape for like him wanting to play the Joker. He's some like fat guy. It's adorable though, but he like does this like kind of like weird accent the whole time. Where he's like, "You want to know how I got these scars? I'm the Joker, baby."
Was
And
it from
it
New
cracks
York?
me up every time. It's better in context.
Where was I? Oh yeah, security, right? Because that moment when you're so deep in your inner monologue as you're falling out of a plane that you forgot what your point was that you were making to yourself. Top-notch humor there, author. By the way, Jorp, if you couldn't tell by the vast quantities of laughter all of us are outputting, this story was tagged as humor.
Really now?
Yeah.
God, I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I know it was really hard. You could barely hear the jokes over how hard we were laughing.
I thought this was a what do they call them? A romantic drama.
It's gonna be in a second.
Well,
The girl that gave me the connection, her name was Ellie. We still talked, and she ended up being my first client, and she adopted
No, she was
me.
his agent. He was her first client.
Oh, well, whatever. They probably had sex.
Learn the lore.
Meh. We were roommates. I had my area, she had hers. I never took her name, and she never got her into my business. Our relationship had always been more what I presume siblings or close relatives. No.
Yo,
No.
she taking him to the Aura zone. I know Arn in the chat knows what's up. Aura squad represent.
God damn it.
You stop talking.
Fast forward 3.5 years through my embarrassing.
It's the worst I've heard from him in a long time. Snaky, you still got your lung?
No, I might have to go and check the trash can.
As long as you got at least one, you should be fine.
That's what I've been told. Except the problem here
I mean,
is
it
that
is technically true.
well, the problem here is that that implies both lungs work.
Well, maybe you coughed up the bad lung.
Look, Max, I'm going to be honest with you here, right? So, I have a bad lung. Like, there was a bad choice in the previous presidential election. They were both bad. One was just worse.
So you got a bad lung and an even worse lung.
Yes.
Jesus. Oh.
I, for one, am gonna be proud to vote Trump 2020.
Well, you can do that.
Hell yeah. Make America great again, and that's how you get yeeted off Twitch.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, it was nice knowing your channel, Sneaky.
Well,
I
I really appreciate the fact that I have the foresight to always include the improv tag, and we can just write this whole thing off as a comedy sketch.
It was it Blizzard the other day? Someone had their whole fucking like clan yeeted, had to change their name because they had like Trump or something as the clan name.
Oh
Wait,
no,
for
it
real?
was WoW Classic. It was Make Azeroth Great Again.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, like it's WoW Classic, and your guild is called Make Azeroth Great Again. Like that's a great joke.
Yeah, it is.
It is. And I feel like
Especially
if this
because
had been
it's-
the year 2003, that would have been totally fine.
Well, and here's the thing: it's especially good because it's happening before Azeroth got super fucked.
Anyway. Anyway, so let's see. My voice cracked. let me tell you about my voice cracking and how it affected my career. I really actually prefer you didn't.
Yeah, this is
So,
the longest fucking. I wish he would just hit the ground and splat. I don't give a shit about his whole fucking.
Yeah, we're
formal
still
education and-
I think we're finishing the end of the freeze frame. Ellie had known I was an adrenaline junkie and got tickets for skydiving, which brings me to here and now.
Can I just point out that like less than 1% of skydivings
Yep.
end in death?
Yep.
Yeah, even Peggy Hill. Her
Wait,
parachute ended up
Atin,
like,
if
she was
less than
fine.
1% of skydivings end in death, does that mean we need to regulate skydivings and make them illegal to prevent more skydiving massacres?
Yes.
Because that number needs to be 0%.
We're gonna get Beto O'Rourke right on it.
We're gonna seize everyone's planes. The hatch opened. I secured my parachute pack as well as I could, and there was a red light above the door. We were waiting for it to change color. I wasn't the only one jumping, but since I was the birthday boy, I obviously was gonna go first. Honestly, I actually hate that. I actually absolutely hate that. When it's my birthday, I do not mention it. Like, I have people that take me out, like, oh, let's go to, dinner for your birthday, and I'll cover it. It's like, okay, yeah,
You guys, somebody PM me and let me know what his birthday is, so I can fucking just like at everyone in the chat when it
I
is.
fucking hate it so much when they're like, hey waiter, what? It's his birthday. Oh, okay.
We're gonna bring you the fucking.
It's like,
the
oh
ice
my
cream
God,
and
no,
the song
just
go on,
stop.
the last on the
The
line.
And
last
Give
time,
that person a glare.
I would say the last time my brother did that to me, I just punched him in the restaurant.
Oh, no, I've told my family, like, if you ever do that to me, I'm going to walk out.
I'm sorry you guys are all like socially inept incels. You know, when they do that to me, I fucking cheer because I'm getting free ice cream.
No. It's entirely possible to get the free ice cream. without
No,
the
see,
shitty
Jorp,
chicken.
I'm not socially inept. I just hate people.
Yes, you are. Hold on a minute.
No.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute.
Fucking called out.
Oh, boy. I want to hear this from Atin.
By his own admission, he's socially inept. Do we even need to talk about the girls?
I've heard
Okay,
stories.
that's a fair point.
I'm not saying you don't hate people. I'm just saying you are socially inept.
So, the reason why I don't like having my birthday being known is not because I'm socially inept, I just don't like attention on me.
Yeah. It's this fun thing where, like, as introverts, the best way to lose a friend who's an introvert? Hit them with a bunch of attention from strangers.
You know the best way to not get attention as an introvert? Have your own fucking Twitch show.
Yeah, except you misunderstand here, Jorp, is that nobody knows who I am.
Yeah,
He
no.
can at any point
there
he
are-
so desires.
There are two people in this voice chat that know him by face, name, and address.
I kind of imagine, like, in my headcanon for what Sneaky looks like is kind of like, are you guys familiar with Claudio Sanchez?
Yes.
Like a skinny Claudio Sanchez is my headcanon of Sneaky.
You need to revise that headcanon a little.
I'm not even sure who that is, so I'm going to be insulted. I
Okay,
am
but he-
insulted, sir.
No, well, Claudio Sanchez is actually a very attractive guy. It's not an insult.
No, I'm still insulted.
Okay, significantly shorter hair.
Oh, really? Yeah. Here, I'm gonna post a picture in the FF90K.
Look,
actually,
yeah,
they've got similar builds.
Look,
Similar-ish.
I am actually frustrated how close that is.
Really?
Yeah, no, if
Yeah, no, shorten the hair and give me a receding hairline. Give him a receding hairline, and that is frustratingly close.
might as well be him.
Damn,
yeah.
I'm goddamn clairvoyant.
Replace the
I'm
sunglasses
curious as to
with
what
Oak,
you
please.
think Max looks like.
Max, gosh, I haven't interacted with Max much to see. I don't have as much of a qualified headcanon, but I would give him kind of like the God, what's the guy's name? like the guy from Final Fantasy VII. Not Reno, but the other guy who hangs out with him. What's his name?
I have no idea what you're talking
I
Oh
about.
my
don't
god!
know.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
I would love to know who you're talking about. Please help.
He's one of the Turks. He's the bald guy.
Which,
I'm
incidentally, man,
not balding, so
Reno and the other guy looked way better when they actually got real models.
Well, Rude is his name. Rude is his name. But he's not balding. He shaves his head bald. First of all, he's a badass. But that's my headcanon here.
Yeah.
You guys don't remember?
well, if
I mean,
if I slim down like
I was gonna say,
120 pounds, I
not-
could do that actually.
Well,
Actually,
I
I'm
was gonna
looking-
say, lose 120 pounds and put on like half of that back in muscle.
I'm looking at the Final Fantasy VII like
Wow. Oof.
the new images. Why does he look like The Rock?
I don't.
Speaking of,
Um,
I'm gonna do a video about it. The Final Fantasy VII remake is gonna be trash, and the fucking industry that made it happen is trash. I'm so mad about the whole thing.
Well, everyone knows that gamers are just retarded.
Wait, hang on. I'm sorry. Why is it going to be trash? Everything
Yeah.
that they've been showing, all of the weird parts that people want them to keep is the stuff they've been showing.
Because so first and foremost, it is about, I don't know, a fifth of the game that Final Fantasy VII is that's being regurgitated to you in a $60 package. Which you're gonna tell me. They're gonna tell me. They're gonna say, oh well, with modern development costs skyrocketing and the graphics, we gotta have the graphics. We can't do the things. I'm sorry. All I'm getting from that is you can't make the game you were fucking able to make in 1997. You're not as qualified as you were 20 years ago.
Wasn't there actually a reason given for that? Is that back then Konami was basically garbage, and they didn't save anything. Nothing was saved
Yeah,
from
no.
their old works.
Part of it is they're recreating 7 from the ground up.
Yeah.
So
The other thing
recreate
is they're
7 from
adding
the
a
ground
bunch
up.
of,
Give me all of Final Fantasy VII for $60, and I'll say, wow, there's a remake. Don't give me the first 10 hours of it. Hold on, and here's the thing. It's going to be the same storyline. You're going to do the same things.
People did the breakdowns. It's going to be like 30 hours per disc if they're splitting it up like this.
They're going to pad it out, but the same shit's going to happen. Except now, instead of just going to reactor number 5, you're going to get to watch a scene where Jesse tells you how material works. Then you get to go on a side mission with Biggs and Wedge where you get the fucking reactor codes or something. I'm sorry, I don't need it. I already know what happens. It's padding.
Yeah, I mean, okay, look, I don't follow Final Fantasy VII at all. I don't follow Final Fantasy at all. But I do agree with Jorp in the term that current gaming trends is is open world, or even if it's linear, with lots of fucking padding now. And if they're recreating the game, if they're not just giving it better graphics and a better engine, if they're just recreating the game,
Give
it's
us
Konami.
the whole Final Fantasy. Don't give us the mid. First of all, Final Fantasy VII. Because I know Steve played.
It's modern Konami. It's the people that brought us
I'll be
Metal
honest,
Gear
I don't
Survival.
think
Square Enix, first of all, but
Well,
I don't
whatever.
think 7 is that great. I don't think it's bad. I think it's still a good game,
They're all the same.
but I think it's not I don't think it's that amazing of a Final Fantasy.
I love it. I think it's I think it's an absolute masterpiece, and it defined modern role playing games. But god damn it, they're gonna butcher it. They're gonna butcher it, and the soy boys are gonna lap it up.
I guess we'll reconvene when it's been released, and we'll see what it is.
Well, I guess. Well, no. Here's what it'll have to be. We'll have to reconvene in about 12 years once all 5 discs have released. And Jorp, you and I will sit down. We'll boot up Parsec, and we'll just run all 5 discs in one go.
There we go.
We'll just spend a week just streaming it, and then we'll come back and we'll listen to complaints.
Jorp reserves the right for in 15 years to be able to say "I told you so."
Yeah, that's fine if you're still talking in 15 years and it is bad. Yes, he can say I told you so.
I don't know, Max.
That's how it works.
We've been talking for nearly 10 now, so...
Yeah, but I feel like, Jorp, there's no offense to you. I feel at best we're close acquaintances through Sneaky. I don't know that we interact enough to be called friends yet.
No.
That's all right.
Close
I'll-
acquaintances is.
I'll be personally offended, but I'll accept it.
I know. Like I said, I don't want you to be offended, but for the moment, I think we're close.
It's all right.
I
All
think
right,
like
one day,
three more
one day,
streams. I
one
think
day,
like 3 more
they'll ask
streams
me-
together.
They'll ask me whose life I'm gonna save between Sneaky and Max, and be like, gee, which one called me a friend?
It's gotta be Sneaky, probably.
then I'm gonna shoot my little spider web and accidentally.
I mean,
break
let's
his
be
fucking
honest.
neck.
You'll get more
Oh,
entertainment
no.
value out of keeping Sneaky alive anyway.
Yeah, no, he will. Sneaky's much more entertaining.
So
I
basically,
tried-
anyway, the rest of this story is just him jumping out of the airplane and then him being like, "Oh my god, I'm falling," and then a bug destroyed his parachute.
A bug? Really? You're not even gonna go for something basic like, yeah, line fail. Like, it's incredibly rare, and skydiving schools specifically go to great lengths to try to ensure that it doesn't happen.
Wait, what kind of fucking bug?
I don't know, it's a bug.
Fuck you, author.
Like a beetle?
It's a bug. I don't know.
I need more context. Like he's pretty. Insects don't fly like that high in the air.
Well, I mean, what it says is he hit something with his face, and then he's like, "Oh my god, what did I just hit my face? Was it a bug?" And then he wipes his face off, and there's a bunch of green ichor everywhere. And then when he goes for his parachute, it doesn't work anymore. And he's like, "Oh man, those Vietnamese, they sabotaged my parachute. I should have known to never trust them."
That's like a weird like shade on like the Vietnamese too. Like what's this guy? Like is his dad like a fucking like a homeless Vietnam vet like sitting on the
And
floor? Son.
then he goes on to say that apparently this is supposed to be a joke, because he goes on to say that he laments that he's going to die from this incident because he needs to return to his people to tell them that the Vietnamese are sabotaging parachutes.
Yeah, he's definitely got a complex there. And he says, "I'm too young to die. Please, 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 no, no, no. I'm still a virgin. Fuck." So obviously he didn't make it with Ellie. Let me live. God, Buddha, Zeus, Allah, Azor Ahai, and Shenron. I like how he throws Shenron in there.
I mean, you really fucked up.
He left out the most important god of all, Optimus
Helix?
Prime.
Oh.
Wait, no, hey, wouldn't it be Magnus? No, wait. God, what?
Oh yeah, he left out the Emperor too.
At least he put Allah in there. So if he lands on a building or an orphanage or something, he's at least gonna have 72 virgins in heaven.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. Oh, wow. I am so glad I have this whole thing labeled as improv.
Oh.
Anyway, I
All
probably
right.
didn't pray right. I've never tried praying before, so it wasn't like I actually knew how to pray. But I was pretty sure I was doing it wrong. So I screamed a lot. And then pissed myself. And then I determined that I hated Vietnamese people. Okay, author. That's
fuck you guys. I clicked on the author's page.
Yeah.
First of all, he actually is 5'6", so it is a self-insert.
Holy shit.
But he says he loves to talk. Just send him a PN, and he wants to have a solid career in voiceover work. We need to get this guy on the show.
What if we said we
If-
don't and we never did?
I mean, if
I want to hang out with him.
maybe he does better voiceover than he does writing.
Yeah, but Jorp, if I invite him on the show, I'm required to ask him about his stories, which would mean I would need to read his stories to ask them, and I don't want to read his stories.
Also, it might actually get us banned for real hate speech.
Nobody ever gets banned for
Given
hate
this
speech
man's
anymore.
particular... you're right, I'm sorry. We're safe from banning because none of us are wearing Chun-Li costumes.
Oh, no, we need to activate our anti-ban shield. How soon can we get Ari onto this podcast?
I understood that reference.
Guys, we need to get, we just need... Listen, we just need to film a public bathroom say I didn't realize it was wrong, apologize, and then do it again 3 weeks later to continue to bump our numbers.
No,
I also
I'm
understood that
pretty
reference.
sure that we need to be popular to do that in the first place.
Hey, we got 6 live viewers.
Yeah. I'm like half of them
I
are
bet there
on
are
this
6.
podcast.
I bet there are 6 people who will pay to see Max.
One of those is me.
No.
I have the scream open.
Anyway,
Sorry, what are we
I was gonna
saying
hit the
about
earth.
seeing Max? Did someone just volunteer me for shit again, Atin?
Yeah, we volunteered you to be my friend, you asshole.
We volunteered.
Hey, listen, I'm fine with being your friend. Look, we'll set something up. You got Left 4 Dead 2? I'll get you Left 4 Dead 2. We'll have a match.
Hell yeah.
We'll go play realistic.
Max,
Actually, we shouldn't do that.
I
We-
thought you
Hey,
wanted to make a friend.
Sneaky!
No,
I
I
have
know.
a
I was like,
present
we'll play
for
realistic.
you.
No, wait. Realistic is how you lose friends. Isn't that right, Sneaky?
Realistic versus was great. Hey, Sneaky!
Oh, realistic
I have
versus
a present for
was
you.
hilarious.
Oh God!
By the way, Max, we volunteered you to be
good
the
times,
resident
good
Twitch
times.
thought for the channel. You're gonna need a Chun-Li
I still
costume.
talk to Gon occasionally.
I'm gonna need a what?
A Chun-Li costume.
No,
Rarely. It's been a while. I
no.
think I've seen a
If
lot of
anyone's
that.
gonna be the thought, it's probably gotta
Anyway,
be the
did you all buy
skinniest
it?
guy here, which I believe is you.
I call this.
No, it's Jorp.
no.
Oh,
I'm
it's
not
Jordan.
I'm not
Didn't
I'm
know
not that
that.
skinny.
Well,
I'm about 6 foot tall, 175
could-
pounds.
you know, well, no, you know what we could do for you, Jort? We
What?
could just dye your hair blonde and dress you up as Cody from Street Fighter.
First of all, I would
Make
never
you-
be
make
a
you Mayor
fucking
Cody.
blonde. I would never be a fucking blonde surfer bitch. You know, no, not happening.
Okay,
I'll be
Well-
Guy. I'll be Guy.
okay, that'll do. You can be guy
We
then.
can work with that. Okay, but here's the thing. What if we made you into female Terry? Would you be blonde for that?
Yes. Yeah, women can be blonde. Guys
What?
shouldn't be blonde.
What the fuck are you guys talking about?
I don't know, but I'm rolling with it. I'm just moving with the wave here. You know, like they're gonna put tits on
Like,
me. and call me
I'm
a-
the one drinking
No,
here.
Atin-
I'm just sitting here
Atin
like.
is saying that. I'm
is-
offering you actual male characters. Atin's jumping to the gender bin for some reason.
Yes,
you know,
this guy
it
got
could be-
isekai'd by Ground Coon.
Could be fun.
But I'm sitting here with moonshine, like I'm just drinking it, and then Ad's like, "But what if we made you a girl? Would you be a blonde
No,
then?"
hold on a minute.
And I'm
Female
just like-
Terry is a thing that was it Konami who did it, Max?
I don't care. Anyway,
SNK.
Well, wasn't
SNK.
Terry just like a rip-off Ken?
Yes. But
I mean,
my
people
point
thought he was
being
Ken.
is that
Yes.
you know that visual gag that happens in like shows and shit where someone's drinking pretty hard and they see something ridiculous from the main cast. And they
Yeah, we
just
call
look
it a
at-
spit take.
Yeah, they look at their drink and they're like, "Wow, I've been drinking too much." That's
Oh,
literally
okay, no,
what
the
fucking
other-
happened right here. I'm just straight shooting from the moonshine bottle, and Adam's like, "What if we made you female Terry?" I'm just like,
What
did
kind
he
of- what kind of-
actually
what kind of
say
moonshine
that,
is
or am
this?
I just delusioning it at this point?
Is this like old smoky moonshine, or is it like some bootleg shit?
No, it's not bootleg, but it's definitely moonshine.
Well, I just mean like
Is it
like
was it North Carolina?
Yeah, something like that.
like where I'm at, you can buy a Old Smoky Moonshine is the brand they sell in the grocery store. It's from Tennessee. It's good stuff. They have a couple of flavors though that so you can get whatever you want, like peach.
I don't do flavors. I don't
Oh,
like
okay.
my alcohol.
I
flavors.
see how it is. Look, when I drink my scotch, I like it straight, okay? But when it comes to moonshine, I love a good apple pie.
Look,
or
I am
caramel cookie.
drinking moonshine for one reason, and that's to not wake up tomorrow. It hasn't
Wow,
worked
what's
yet.
going on tomorrow?
Life?
Well, not for you.
Well, I'm still here, so that hasn't worked out.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
Sneaky, let me know when you can get me some moonshine so I can drink myself to eternal sleep peacefully.
Um,
Don't worry, we'll
Just
buy you
go
both
buy
a
it?
distillery.
I mean, what's so hard about buying moonshine where you are?
It's Illinois. I have to go to the translocated part of the South in the southern part of Illinois to get actual moonshine. And no one goes there, Sneaky, because it is worse than Deliverance down there.
It can't be worse than Chicago.
Yeah. Also,
like-
Xenon Quark has shown up again.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
What's up,
he
Xenon
left in a
Quark?
huff a while back. Only like 2 years
I
ago.
I like Xenon Quark because he combines two of my favorite franchises:
Mm-hmm.
Xenon, Girl from the 20 whatever fucking century,
Yeah.
and Quark from
Mhm.
Lunar, the Silver Star story.
I don't think that's how it works, but I'm just going to nod and say okay.
Arn is absolutely right. It could also be fucking Maryland.
It could be
Whatever
worse.
happened to the actors from that Disney series?
What, Xenon?
What?
Yeah, whatever happened to those
I don't
actors? I
know.
wonder.
I-
Because
I
Disney
mean-
actors either end up like as drug addicts with everything horrible happening to them, or they end up with a pretty good life.
Oh
just
my god!
from
Wait,
being
you
obscured.
guys remember Boy Meets World?
Yeah,
Yes.
No.
You know the girl? You know the girl who played Rachel, the redhead?
No.
sort of.
She actually legit does porn now. I'm not
What?
joking.
Okay.
Don't show it
Well,
on stream,
No,
obviously,
I
but like,
wouldn't be
look
showing
her up.
porn on
She
stream
legit
anyway.
does.
Please
regardless.
tell me her working name
we're not talking
involves
about
the
this.
name
We're not-
Rachel. Like she
we're not
decided to
doing
capitalize
this.
on that tiny
We're-
little
no,
bit of fame.
We're not doing this. No.
It's mostly
No,
it's mostly
I'm
interracial
muting
black
you
porn
both.
too. So. So anyway, Raven Simone obviously was one of the stars of Xenon Girl of the 21st Century. We all know she went on to have a pretty illustrious career.
So,
Kirsten
anyway,
Storms,
we're just going
who
to
was in
ignore
General
Jordan
Hospital
as
for
much as
about
we
10
physically
years.
possibly can. And we're going to move on to the part where he starts talking to Mew. And, yeah, the Mew says, how'd you get here? So,
I mean,
so
it should
let's
be
let's set up
Should be,
this.
first of all, it should be Arceus, the literal god.
Oh, actually, that's debated. Because Mew is still canonically the first Pokemon to exist, and Arceus is still classified as a Pokemon. So, you know.
Yeah, you can call Arceus a god, but like, come on, Mew.
I mean,
Mew has literally
it's-
every Pokemon's DNA. in
You
it.
know, I mean, Mew. Now, let's be reasonable here. Mew is shown as childish, so it's completely canonically possible that Mew didn't feel like being a god, and then created the Pokemon god so they could be the Pokemon god for them.
Yo, this is your job now.
Your whole existence is literally to be not me.
Listen, odd thing for like 10,000 years. You know what I really want to do? I want to go be about 4 inches high and get picked and get captured by cute trainers.
Dude, I want to
That's
go
what I'm
live in
gonna
a
do.
tree. You can get this giant marble hall or whatever. I'm gonna go live in the tree.
I'm
Later,
gonna go
peace.
run through the forest. Go play hide and seek with.
Oh my
humanity.
god, you guys! The author of this fan fiction has
Yep.
a story
Yep.
called Harry Potter and the Fruits of the Devil. That is a Harry Potter and One Piece crossover.
Oh no.
Oh boy, I am so glad I refuse to read anything from One Shit. Because that's how many shits you take before you drop the story. Anyway, so we're just going to continue on. So the author is now panicking at the sight of Mew in front of them,
Why?
and calls it a monster, and tries to run away from Mew.
Oh look, I'm writing a self-insert about something that I know an immense amount about,
Yep.
but I'm gonna pretend that I don't for
Yep,
comedic purposes.
Also, ready for the next joke? The next joke is that he tried to run away, but his legs are still broken.
Oh!
Wow! Oh, oh. Shoot. There was blood everywhere. If not for them being attached to my body, I wouldn't have even realized they were my legs. Sweat poured out from me. I started to shake. My breathing turned sporadic. Now, author, I am not a licensed medical professional.
You're
However,
definitely not licensed. You may be a medical pretender, though.
However, I do have enough medical knowledge to quite, what's the best word for this? Decisively declare that if your legs resemble ground beef more than they do leg, and that there is, in fact, blood everywhere. Going into shock is the least of your concerns. Just wanted to say that.
That's good. I like Broken String 001 wrote a review for this very story we're reading,
Uh-huh.
and his review reads,
Yeah.
"Holy shit, that was scary. Heart-stopping Pokemons after another. I would have shitted my pants the moment I saw Articuno. Much less Sparky."
I really wouldn't have, honestly. I wouldn't have.
I'd be like, oh, neat. You know what I would have said to Articuno? Gonna run away again on turn 1, you bitch?
Honestly, so, if I get into this, just hypotheticals here to distract us from this garbage.
Yep.
You get isekai. It doesn't matter how. You get shot saving someone, a truck hits you, you yeet yourself, whatever.
Randomly summon. Pick your whatever.
Isekai flavor.
Yeah.
My reaction would be to literally anything after that moment is, oh, so this is what we're doing now. Okay.
I want to be isekai'd into a world where all women they can't speak because they don't have mouths, but what it is their titties are telepathic, and the only way they actually work though is they have to pull them out so you can suck on them, and when you suck on them, you get their thoughts, and then you can talk back.
Please.
This sounds very specific.
Are we gonna find something about this on Archive of Our Own later?
I feel like Jorp has read a little bit too much High School D times D.
Hey,
Oh, come on, not even High School D times D stoops that low.
How do we see your story queue? I randomly select
the
the story from over 500 bookmarks that I've made. There really isn't a queue. It's more of a vague impression of an idea that might someday happen.
But if you want to suggest one, just use the titty telepathy method, and we'll put it in the queue.
No, we condemn Jorp completely.
I'm sorry.
There will be none of that.
This sounds so specific. You've either found something that does this, or you've been wanting to write this yourself for a couple years.
Well, no, I was just while you guys were talking, I was thinking, what would be the perfect isekai? Where I was also
he's letting his YouTube fame go to his head. He's already imagining what would I do with my mega YouTube bucks, and apparently what he's come up with is he's going to hire an animator to make a cartoon series for him about this world.
Oh man, it can only air on Pornhub though. That's the problem.
You see, I don't see the problem.
I would say, well, you're forgetting that with the mega YouTube bucks, he doesn't have to pay for a cartoon. He can just pay for women.
Isabel
says,
says...
Don't you know I have 5 patrons?
Yeah, but keep in mind, Atin, the women in this world do in fact have mouths, which completely breaks Jorp's fantasy.
There are plenty of masks that will take care of that problem, Sneaky.
Yeah. Isabel says, I can't think of the phrase pink thing without being reminded of you-know-who from DBZ. I sent you the Call It Night one on Discord. Was just wondering if you're going to do it soon.
Okay, hold on. Okay, wait, no, now this is in my head. I have to search it. Majin Mew.
No, that probably exists, but no, why would you do this to us?
Oh, Lord.
Yes, here we go. Excellent, well done.
That's weirdly adorable.
That's surprisingly well done.
Hey, does Yu Yu Hakusho
Thank
count
you
as an
for
isekai?
not making me depressed, Internet. And then meanwhile, we have what the fuck's going on in the top right corner.
Oh, dear. That's cool. Nobody answered my question.
What is the top
question?
right?
Does Yu Yu Hakusho qualify as an isekai?
I wouldn't know.
No.
No.
Okay.
Because he's still in the same world.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's-
Because he does die at the beginning because he gets hit by the car, but then he goes like to the
He goes to the
spirits,
afterlife specifically, so
so
I'd argue not really.
So the afterlife does not count as isekai stuff.
No.
No,
Okay.
I don't think it shouldn't count as that.
Well, because
Okay,
then you'd have to count like Bleach as an isekai.
Okay, yeah, I was legitimately curious. I wasn't sure where the line was drawn.
Yeah, no, isekai is typically, the character is either dead or is summoned, and they leave their world entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's to return as a hero. Sometimes it's
No,
to be a vending
I don't
machine.
think I've ever seen. Well, besides like Sword Art Online, which I guess you could
I would say,
loosely call an
sometimes
isekai.
it's fucking Grimgar.
In Final Fantasy Tactics
Hmm,
Advance, it's
true,
an isekai where you return as the villain.
Yeah,
So, someone's in the know. Someone's played FFTA.
Sword Art Online. I already said that. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, he said it's not a fucking isekai.
It is not an
Fuck off.
isekai. Fuck off.
I'm not gonna lie. I nearly slapped my friend when they're like, "Sword Art Online's an isekai," and it's like, wait, is it really?
No,
worth
I
getting
said you
upset?
could. I said you could loosely define it as one because they
Yeah, well, here's the problem, though.
technically go to a quote different world with no quote real idea of ever being able to return.
Sword Art Online is
Well,
literally just .hack for incels.
Well, sort of SAO is literally it is a thing called the death game genre, specifically for MMOs. Like that is a thing.
Wait, is that really a thing?
Yes, .hack is the most prominent
Oh,
version of that genre.
shit. It's
But
been
Death Hack.
dot hack.
First of all,
There's an anime title for you, Death Hack. Oh no, I wonder what happens.
Honestly, I would actually watch an
Dot
anime
Hack
called
can't
Death
die.
Hack.
Like, yes, they can suffer death, but they can't die.
Depends on which version. Because
Yeah,
getting knocked
there's-
into a coma will eventually result in.
Yeah, people died in .hack.
Yeah, like there are people who got knocked into a coma and people who died as a result of that coma. So yes,
Yeah, Skeet
.hack,
wasn't nothing
you
to
can
fuck
die.
with, man.
I personally, I feel like Log Horizon is worse than Sal.
Isn't Log Horizon literally like we're just stuck in a completely different world? We're not even connected to the internet
I
anymore.
don't even know
yeah,
what Log
yeah.
Horizon is.
Yeah,
There's spoilers for part of it.
no one cares.
I don't
They
care.
No one cares.
Find a way home.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's great. I
I'm
don't care.
looking it up right now. It looks like it has shitty animation. so I
Okay,
don't even
look,
care.
the thing with Log Horizon was it tried to do the whole we're in a death game now technically because we're also in a different world, but we also revive like it's a normal game.
The respawn system still works.
Yeah, and like everything, like basically, it was an isekai in that all of them were their game characters, and they were technically in the world that their MMO was.
And they needed to use, like, skills and stuff to get decent tasting food.
Yeah, and it was just really and like they had their menus and everything still, and it wasn't interesting to me. It wasn't that good to me, and I see so many people are like, "Oh man, Log Horizon just so good. Sal sucks," and it's just like
Okay. But
Sal
here's
had
the
at
thing,
least
though,
good
like-
combat.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. Sal did the romance correctly in part 1. They actually did handle that relation pretty well. The other thing is there were actual stakes.
True.
The stakes being we're trying to get home. That's not good enough. Like, oh, that's a stake, I guess.
Stakes
But
being, we're gonna fucking die.
the stake of we want to get home, but if we die here, we actually are just done.
Well, I mean,
That's pretty fucking hefty.
Sal actually had more stakes than that because you have to consider they can only survive so long on life support.
Oh yeah, no, that was also a thing. Like, if they went past a certain point in time, life support would either just cut out or their bodies would just finish atrophying into death.
Yeah.
Yo, and in Sal, people got raped. Those stakes are pretty high.
That wasn't actually until the second season.
Yeah. But anyway, so in Sal,
Yeah, that
we're
part
just
was
gonna
so.
ignore that.
No, that was still season 1.
Yeah.
That was the second half of season 1. It's like this was not
I'm just
necessary.
ignoring this. Anyway, so in Sal, I mean, so not only do you have a death game, it also has a time limit to it. And on top of that, the higher you go, the exponentially harder it gets. The more casualties you take, and because people are human, the more casualties you take, the less people want to do it, so the slower you go.
I would say that was actually something really important that Progressive brings up is Kirito is like to himself constantly thinking like momentum is the single most important thing for this.
Yeah. Because we get occasional flashes like, yeah, during the beta we slowed down here because it just got annoying.
And it was like the 50th floor that was nearly broke the entire game because of the losses they took on the boss that so many people just didn't do it.
Yeah, because they hit their second. I think they said their milestones every 25 floors or
Yeah.
some shit like that. And once they got the second milestone, it's like, yeah, we lost like a third of our people.
Yo, this is
Because
why I
we
don't
were
trust virtual
overconfident.
reality. Is the Matrix in the same genre as Dot Hack and Sal?
I mean, I guess you could say so.
I guess you could argue it is.
Anyway.
Is it really a death game if you're not aware? You're like, because they're born into that.
I mean,
Are they aware they're in a game in Sal?
Are you saying,
Yes,
Max, that
they're
they are
very
born
aware.
to die?
They're very aware. So, what, Sneaky?
Are you saying that they are born to die?
That is literally their entire reason for being born into the world, yes, in the Matrix. That is literally why the machine did that.
The Matrix is actually just a big allegory for gender dysphoria.
So Max,
shut up!
just to elaborate on what I previously said, Born to Die, World is Fuck, Kill 'Em All, 1989, I Am Trash Man? Does this go over anyone else's heads besides Max's?
Yeah, I don't get any of that.
Oh. It basically, so in Japan, a common thing is, I'm going to link the meme page for it. A common thing in Japan is to put English words on shirts because, unsurprisingly, or maybe surprisingly, a lot of Japanese don't bother learning how to read English. And so they see, the word fuck or something on a shirt and they're like, that looks weird and funny. And they buy it, not knowing that it says, bitch or something on it. Or what that means. Because English words look funny. So it's sort of like how America does the whole, oh man, I'm going to tattoo these Chinese or Japanese characters onto me. And it means like peace, love, or whatever.
And it's saying, I'm a giant bitch or something?
Yeah, where it's just like, the person who actually speaks that language goes like, do you realize what you've actually just tattooed? But, yeah, so a shirt that came out of that was a shirt with two cartoon animals, hugging-ish, and it says, Born to Die, World is a Fuck, Kill 'Em All 1989, I Am Trash Man.
I want that shirt. I would wear that motherfucker every day.
But, yeah. So we're just gonna move on. I get it, just fuck you. So, okay, so Nexus and Arengod that got my words, but, they hate me for it. So, I believe my original intent has been accomplished, and we can move on. Anyway, so, Mew proceeds to, tell him that he is a proper Pokemon. And the self-insert, who was Deadpooling a few moments ago, proceeds to tell Mew that Pokemon are not real.
He's in for a shock.
Yeah. Also, he's apparently 9 years old now, with broken legs. And, so the Mew responds, by the way, Mew is floating. The Mew responds...
I mean, Mew regularly does
Yeah.
that, yes.
The Mew responds, then what would you call me? And the self-insert goes, I would call him a freak. I've seen him pretty weird stuff on the internet. Even some dude that augmented his body with tattoos and surgeries to make himself look like a reptile. Yes,
What?
that meme.
What the hell do they mean augmented with tattoos? That's not how a tattoo works.
Okay, so basically the purpose of the tattoos was to give the visual impression that the person, instead of having skin, had scales.
Scales.
And they look horrendous. They look absolutely like an abomination that needs to be put down. But that's not the point here. The point here is that the author is going, man, I saw some guy with tattoos once, so therefore Pokemon ain't real and you're just some furry that surgeried themselves. And the reason why you're floating is because you're using wires hanging from the ceiling. Can we read something else? I mean, we're pretty much done. So Mew's like, I'm gonna go take you to
The
a
story's
healer.
just heating up. I'm getting invested in this.
And he's like, wow, I'm healed
You better
now.
not be, because we're about to yeet it out the stream.
Oh, but the sexy nurse Halloween
blah, blah,
costume?
blah. It's the Pokemon world. The nurse chastises him for saying fuck. No, I'm an orphan. Oh, she's so sorry for asking if his parents ever taught him anything. Of course you'd speak so crudely. You'd never have any parents. Well, I mean, yes, actually.
Yo, that's racist. She's crying now.
Isn't that
Big
just
fat honking
rude?
tears.
Yeah.
He called her a stereotypical white girl.
Well, you know, it's not racist if it's against white people.
That's true.
I need to pee. Can I go to the bathroom? Of course you can. And then he goes into the bathroom and he's shock-faced by the fact that he's a child. Also, there's a Chansey. And, you know, so you're falling out of a plane and you hit the ground. And then you wake up and there's a Mew in front of you.
Yo, wait, is he in a fucking diaper?
No, he's 9 years old.
No, read it said sitting me on a toilet and forcefully dropped a diaper that I most definitely hadn't been wearing previously down my legs.
Oh, I mean, he did, you know, have 2 broken legs before. So I
What the
suppose if you've
fuck?
never actually learned what a catheter was, you would put a diaper on a kid.
I don't care if you break all 3 of my legs. I'm not wearing a fucking diaper.
I'll keep that in mind. So, the author is
back
currently
moment.
freaking out about how there is a Chansey, and that it exists, and that Pokemon is somehow real. Oh, thank you.
Just saw
A moose
Mew
approach.
crying out loud.
A moose approaches has followed us, and I appreciate that, because at this point, I need anything to take me out of my funk of reading this story. And you know what? We're just going to keep accelerating. And wow, I'm not 18 anymore. Oh my god. Is this real? Am I actually in Pokemon now?
Yo, this is fucking weird. I don't like.
So him being 9 years old is what tipped him off that it might be in the Pokemon world. Not the Chansey, not someone dressed up like Nurse Joy, not the Pokemon theme in the hospital, not the Mew. No. It's the fact that he's 9. That is what told him that he's in the Pokemon world. Big brain fella here. Okay. Oh, he was talking to a Slowking.
Why are there so many things in the bathroom?
I'm starting to think this dude is the Slow King.
Yeah, it's possible. Oh my god, this is great. I can be a Pokemon trainer, and I knew where all the Pokemon were found, and all the legendaries. Ha 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 ha. I miss Ellie.
I know where all the legendaries are. Okay, but you're still a punk bitch.
Yo, he's got his fucking stash sheet.
I'm gonna be honest here. I really don't think using the video games as a guide to where Pokemon are and how the world operates in Pokemon is a good plan. I understand the concept behind that, but you do have to keep in mind that it is a linear video game. Meant to be linear for children. So, unless the author is forcing everything to operate precisely like the video games operate, it would probably be a bad plan to act like everything operates as the video game world. Your first hint should be the fact that there's no hospitals in a Pokemon Center in the Pokemon World games. Just so you know. Anyway, so he's decided to rewrite this story from the original version, which was a very old version, and he isn't going to change much. He's just going to make it more mature, and he guarantees his plot will make sense now.
Oh, bold of you to assume we came for the plot.
Yeah, you got 20 chapters, and I went ahead. I looked ahead. He managed to finish the Orange League, so we do get some places.
Oh, that's kind of impressive. I
Yeah.
guess.
Hey,
Alright,
I say
so-
it's easy to make it to Orange League when your story is trash.
I say we invite this guy to the Discord because he's obviously going places.
You know, if you want to, I won't stop you.
All right, I'll reach out. I'll see what he's got going on. He's in Los Angeles now. He's been pretty busy, but I'll see if he can take time out of his schedule.
Busy with what?
You know what?
Being
You know
a
what we
fucking-
haven't done in a while, guys.
What?
We have not done a high school D times Z story in a while.
Yeah, I was starting to forget about him.
I don't know. What
Let's
that
go
is.
with this one. This one looks pretty good.
Somehow your words do not inspire confidence, senor.
Let's do
as
one
always, the
about
link
Oni
is in
Chanbara
the Discord.
Bikini Zombie Slayers.
Is that a thing?
So
Yeah, you don't
you
know Oni
you can
Chanbara?
tell this author is a very quality author, and you can tell that by their username, Roxas Huga.
I am so glad. I am so glad I didn't make accounts for these places when I was 14.
How is this almost? Oh, what the? Whoa. This is 89 chapters and nearly 1,000,000 words. It only has 700. So, at a near 1,000,000 words, this story has been ongoing for the past 5 years, with roughly, I would say, over 5 updates per month. And it only has 700 favorites in the D times Z section. That is
Nappa,
low.
what does the scouter say about his level of updates?
Sorry,
well,
what's up? What I miss?
Well, we've encountered a fic that we've encountered a fic that has 1,000,000 words, 89 chapters, and only 700 favorites, and it's been updating for the past 5 years. Also, I actually recommend the first 4 stories here.
Go away,
the
I'm watching porn.
It's actually a really good story. I typically dislike Third Fang because his Naruto series are shit. But when it comes to writing a story in which the character is already under the premise that he's an overpowered piece of shit, he does a great job. But anyway, so the top favorited stories in this section is sitting with Seer King, as it should be, at 5,200 favorites. Only 13 chapters and 100k words. The second most favorited story is closely followed by, which is a good thing when it comes to scaling, so that way you know it's not just a single story, it's just the general trend. Is 4,400 favorites, sitting at 200k words, and 14 chapters is Go Away, I'm Watching Porn. So, with that being said, let us return to this story. The Cosmic Sekiryuki. I do not own High School D times D or other elements in this story. This is not what your summary is for, author. You do not use a disclaimer in the short span of time you have to tell your readers about your story. I can start to understand why you only have 700 favorites. Follow Roxas Hyuga, that is the worst way to start a summary, as he goes to teach at Kyoto Academy. That is, okay, goes to teach. So we're already establishing him as an older, more powerful character who will get involved with all of the main cast by a simple premise of him being a teacher there. Okay. While learning of the supernatural
I would say,
and himself.
I'm just gonna bring up Three Houses here. Three Houses at least was like, yeah, the professor's like barely older than the students, and the only reason it works is because you spent the past 10 years with your dad as basically one of the best mercenaries around. So he, in a complete violation of child labor laws, was like, of course my child is going to learn how to use weapons.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Well,
where
I
you're
mean,
a professor.
Okay, well, look, like that's actually like an intelligent thing to do, regardless, because it, like, if you have any sort of fame or infamy, which a highly skilled warrior in the Fire Emblem verse would, people would try and kill your kid.
I'm not saying they wouldn't. I'm just saying that at least Fire Emblem is like, listen, the kid has been murdering people for probably 10 years now. You're like 20 something. You're like early 20s. They're like, you've been killing people pretty much since you were a teenager.
Yeah.
So you absolutely know what you're doing. There's an excellent reason for you to be skilled.
Yeah.
There's an excellent reason for you to be more skilled than the professors at the school you're at.
Right.
And there's a good reason for them to hire you.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, well, this summary gets worse. OC times Mega Ultra Harem, warning, porn at chapter 52.
Oh, all right.
So we're gonna do a full breakdown since the author has deigned to not actually have a chapter 1. So not only is he breaking the rules of fanfiction.net's story posting standards, he has also completely managed to botch every aspect of the opening parts of your story. So, step 1, when you are writing a summary, the words you don't want to have in there is, I don't own any of this. It's, no shit, Sherlock, you don't own this. That's why it's a fan fiction and not an official release.
It's almost like I'm on a website called officialreleases.com. Oh, wait.
Yeah. It's almost like. Anyway, so the second thing you don't want to do when you are writing a summary is you don't want to do follow our hero, follow insert name, follow ever. No. That makes terrible hooking. You will get no one. Hey, read this story. You can follow the main character.
Yeah, and
Oh wow,
of kidding
really?
myself,
You
I
follow
hate
the
those
main
books.
character in a fucking story?
Damn, man, I thought we were going to follow, like, the tritagonist.
Oh, it gets my blood boiling. That's what it's doing. That is what it's doing. Okay. So now that we've covered the follow aspect of why you should never do a summary like that, As he goes to teach at Kuo Academy while learning of the supernatural in himself. Now, I can't say too much on that aspect, because that is so classically tropey young adult novel of, oh, he's gonna learn about the blank and himself at the same time. It is a standard young adult summary, and I can't comment on that part because young adult works. I despise that with every fiber of my being. But I'm here to give you good advice on how to write a summary, and it works.
Well, so far, kids, we've told you how not, and to be quite frank, that's pretty much all we need to do. Just don't
Honestly,
write anything resembling this.
when it comes to writing, there is no how to do X thing good. Like anyone that tells you how to do X thing good is either speaking on a very technical level when it comes to writing, or they're wrong. There's lots of ways to not do something good, and they're very easy to tell people, don't do X thing, it doesn't work, like writing a story in second person. But you can't tell someone how to write a story specifically. Everyone has their own style, everyone has their preferences, everyone has their own idea about the pacing of their story.
Own skills. It's also important to point out, like, someone might be like, write it from a completely different character's perspective to drip feed them important information from alternate viewpoints to help break up the monotony.
Yeah, you can say that, but at the same time, you also have stories like, that's a good example, Aragon, where we don't have other we have rarely other perspectives, but that's more to give us an understanding as to what Aragon's motivation is at X moment, not to elucidate details about the world. And Aragon is a great example of this because it's not that great of a story, but it is a good example of a singular viewpoint in which you are as surprised as the main character when an event happens, because the main character didn't catch it at first. I can only think of a single time where second person works, and that's if you're a DM in D&D. Otherwise, toaster bath. Yeah, pretty much. But like I said, that's not a written story, though. That is an interactive environment. And again, choose your own adventure. Second person works because you're supposed to choose your own adventure. It's basically a written format of a D&D campaign. Or, well, just a, roleplay campaign in general, but it's not an actual story. It doesn't have an actual plot to it beyond, X event happens, go to page 53 if you choose to don't jump in the barrel, or go to page 70 if you choose to hide in the closet. It's not a singular linear story telling a specific message or trope or idea. Anyway, so let's continue with the summary, and we can get into the first chapter, which is all we're going to read because it's the OC bio. We're going to insult the OC, we're going to insult the author, and then we're going to move on to something else, because at this point, really, does anyone care about this story? No.
I don't even know what the franchise is.
D times D, like I said, you should look it up. It's really up your alley if your first idea was to suck breasts to get telepathy message, because that's actually a power that the main character has.
Wait, that's a thing?
Yes. In D times D, he actually has breast-based powers.
Ugh, internet shit the bed. Sorry about that. Oh, hey, Sneaky, you've got an ad for WoW Classic up.
Neat. I fully support this. If only they would pay me.
If only.
Anyway, so the next thing you don't do in a summary, and while I do understand some aspects of this, as the fanfiction.net summary system has changed over a long period of time, as to they allowed pairings, they allowed you to put what characters are in the story, because they used to not do that. And then they allowed you to mark when a story has characters in a relationship. They used to not do that. They recently allowed you to mark multiple characters in a relationship, and multiple characters in separate relationships. They used to not do that either. And
Die somewhere else?
no. I'm gonna be dying here until 9 o'clock, and you're gonna have to live with that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. I'm like judging.
I'm
out
the
over you.
avatar,
I'm
and
just
you have
last
to
night.
deal with it!
Oh dear.
Anyway, so certain trends have taken root in the fanfiction.net community when it comes to summaries. One of those is declaring what characters are in it, bashing tags, various gray, dark, light tags, manipulative Dumbledore, manipulative Hiruzen tags, stuff like that. Your summary is not a tag section. It should not be used as a tag section. I understand the fanfiction.net search system is bad, but using the summary section of your story as a tag section, just in general, tags are just bad. I understand their use. I do not think that authors should be. This is where I disagree with AO3. I don't think authors should be able to set custom tags. I think there should be a set level of tags where it's like you can mark off relationships, you can mark off what world this is taking place in. If it's a Jurassic Park story, if it's taking place in the Jurassic Park era or Jurassic World era. This is useful for stories like the Avengers that have multiple tiers of movies, of reruns and whatnot, of remakes. That's fine and all. I don't think authors should be able to make their own custom tags, because then you see the nonsense on AO3, and it sort of filters into fanfiction.net too. You guys have seen some of the summaries we've had here, where just like 3/4 of the summary is just like bashing, dark, light, gray Harry that shoots lasers out of his ass, mega harem. And it tells you nothing about the story beyond that the author is an absolute hack that uses tropes to write his characters, which I suppose is enough to tell you not to read his story, but that's not the point. The point is the summary is supposed to tell you about the story, not why you shouldn't read it.
Yeah.
And, OC times mega harem, warning, there's porn, read if you dare. That tells us nothing about this story at all. All we know from this entire fucking summary of his, all we know is the main character is named Roxas Hyuga because the fucking dumb shit here watched a bit too much Naruto and also loves Kingdom Hearts and decided that his screen name for the next 15 years was going to be Roxas Hyuga, and that he was going to have this cool OC that was going to be everything that he isn't because Johnny is mean to him at 5th grade. Don't steal OC. Cold Steel Hedgehog. Night Arm. Anyway. Author's note. This is my first time doing this, so I know I'm gonna screw up. The humble brag. But I don't own anything in this story. No shit. You've already said that. Not only have you already said that, it's fanfiction. I own the fanfic. Actually, you don't own this fanfic. If you actually had bothered to read the rules of fanfiction.net, you would know you do not own this fanfic, and it is clear that you haven't bothered reading the rules, as you've already broken multiple of them just with your summary and your chapter alone. OC intro time. Update. This is my update for what happens after Roxas returns from the dimensional gap. I know my character is a Mary Sue, so don't read it if you don't want to.
Wait, I'm sorry?
What?
That... Oh my god, that's... He actually says that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
Oh...
Mm. Name!
You know...
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I need a moment to realize that an author has said that, and then I have to realize that the author's aware of this and probably will still not use this Mary Sue in any interesting way.
No. Of course, no. Well, no.
Because it is
no.
possible.
No,
It's
see,
hard,
Max, the author looked at the concept of a Mary Sue, which is an uninteresting main character that is connected to every other character and has magical powers beyond any other character in the story, and can never fuck up, and never has consequences, and they looked at all of that, and they said, wow, that sounds good. I want to make one. The Mary Sue is the epitome, as all of us here are aware, but the Mary Sue is the epitome of, like, you ever see the third grade playground fights where someone's like, I shoot my laser beams at you, and then someone goes...
No, I have a shield.
No, I'm actually immune to laser beams. And they go, okay, well, I use my fire power. Oh, well, I'm immune to fire.
Yeah, because you have wizard armor.
Yeah, it's just like whenever there's always that one kid that's just like, no, you whatever you did to me, I don't like it, so therefore I was immune to it all along. And it's like, yeah, they're children. You know, I'm not gonna expect children to make some sort of complicated play game. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to be that guy, but I mean, people who write fan fiction are basically man children.
Yes. Yes, I am unironically agreeing with you.
That said, I better get going. I gotta finish up some work. But I want to ask before I do.
Oh boy!
If a Mary Sue and a Gary Stu both get drunk and have sex, which one is guilty of rape?
Well, you see, your first problem is that you assumed that Mary Sue's and Gary Stu's could get drunk. They can't, because they're perfect.
Son of a bitch, I think he got me.
And
the alcohol
second
would
thing,
just go through the system and filter out.
Yeah, they actually can just drink as much alcohol as they want, and they can never get drunk unless they want to, because they're perfect in every way. But the second problem with your supposition is that you are assuming that the Gary Sue and Mary Sue do not want to have sex with each other. Because as perfect beings, obviously everyone is also attracted to them, and that makes any sex with that person willing.
Yes, but you forget one thing. In 2019, all penis and vagina sex is rape.
That's the third problem, is you are assuming that they merely don't just go into a bedroom and it fades to black.
Not in these fanfics.
Well, no, not in these fanfics.
We just got done reading one where a grown-ass man turned into a 9-year-old wearing a diaper. Anything is possible.
Yes, I suppose you are correct on that angle.
I'll leave you on that, guys. Thanks for having me on, as always. It's been fun. I love that someone made an isekai. I think Aaron made that isekai clip.
Yes.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
Later, George. All right, well, let's wrap this story up and let's all go to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Name.
Oh, by the way, Atin, get ready to be offended by this character, because there's a double thing.
Name, Roxas Hyuga. Yeah, I know, guys. Kingdom Hearts Naruto, but this is my name. Age 25, because prestigious school would just hire a brand new teacher. Yep. Yep. Height 6 foot. Anything below 6 foot's a manlet. Fight me.
How much do you
This
want to
is-
bet this dude
this
is
is-
like
this-
5'1"?
This is
Yeah.
Japan, so this dude's a giant.
Yeah.
I would just say, not only is he a giant, he can't walk down. He legit will not be able to walk down the street.
Why?
Cause like Sneaky, if you are 6 foot or taller in Japan, people will just stop you and be like, "I'm taking a picture with you." I don't want a picture. No, I'm taking a picture with you.
Oh, that was actually going to be my exact point. I was going to say he's going to have lots of people asking to take pictures with him.
Yeah, like I was
here.
serious,
If you know Gundam 00, think of Setsuna's hairstyle, but longer, and it's tied into a ponytail in bad guy style.
Soul bad guy. So
Oh my god, he's managed to offend both me and Max at once.
I got it double hard. Because I like
So
both.
what-
I like Gundam and I like Guilty Gear.
I just haven't played Guilty Gear, so I have no particular objections to it. That being said, come on, Setsuna's already a bad enough character in Season 1, leave the poor boy alone.
Hair color, it's obviously black with blue tips, because a prestigious school is definitely going to hire someone that dyes their hair.
Is the school run by any of the supernatural races, or is it humans?
It's humans that run the school, but the Gremories and whatever the fuck their name is, they fund it. They're the main.
Okay.
They're the main benefactors of the school.
Okay. Yeah.
Eyes, a very uncommon color of brown, and they glow in innovation mode.
Innovator mode.
Skin, tan. That's racist. Appearance, slim with muscles.
Bless
Race. Devil, angel, true dragon god hybrid.
Would love to know how that happened.
Well, you see, Max,
No,
an angel and a devil had sex, and that kid was very adventurous and brave.
Adventurous and brave is a good way to put it. That's a very good way to put that.
Also, they specialized in healing magic. Personality: kind, smart, protective, and shy. Wow. So basically all the personality traits that basically let you write your character in any way or fashion you want them to, because you can just go, oh no, they're acting like this now because like they're friends with them now, so they're super protective and like not shy anymore. Look, I was friends with like genuine introverts. Like genuine intro. I'm talking about people that more introverted than me. Like I'll talk your ear off if you let me, as I'm sure everyone is aware of this by now. But I don't like talking to people. I'm talking about these sort of people that are like, yeah, I'm just gonna carry around a like 1,000-page thick book with me at all times, and I'm going to find the corner of any room I'm in, and I'm going to curl up into a ball and read the book there. I have met those people. That is shy. I am not shy. I just hate people. There's a difference. However, the reason why I'm bringing this up is I made friends with that shy person that I'm using as an example. And you know what they did once they were my friend? They went to a corner and curled up into a ball and read their book. And would occasionally respond to things I was saying at them. It
Sounds
was a
about right.
very, very big change.
Guess what? Those are the kind of friends I love because like I've been to that person's house and it's like, hey, I know I said I wanted to hang out, but I'm feeling super drained today. Do you mind if I just read a book? They're like, oh, thank God.
Can we just like sit here and chill?
What if we just sat in the same room and didn't speak to each other?
Occupation.
It baffles the fuck out of my mom and dad that I can do that.
What?
I mean, you and I were perfectly happy to sit around on separate couches playing frickin' mobile games. And that counted as being friends for us.
Anyway. So enough about your male bonding time. Occupation, tech manager at Kuo Academy. Natural skills. He is exceedingly proficient without even having to try. With the following skills. Swords, guns, because Max, you know all about swords. And of course, everyone is a natural with every single sword in existence, just naturally, and you never
Listen here,
are.
I S-rank swords. If I want to switch between a broadsword and a rapier at will, I can.
He has natural skills at having high strength and stamina. He's a pro gamer. He's a master of hand-to-hand voice acting. He has skills in designing and computer programming. He can build robots. He has above-average intelligence.
Oh my god. Atin,
What?
I think he's a coordinator as well.
Well, I mean, that's just involving Seed, the shittiest of Gundam. Second shittiest of Gundams.
I'd say it's third.
He
Better
has
than
the
Wing
following.
and definitely better than Conquista.
He has the following sacred gears.
Oh,
Gears.
Oh no!
Plural.
Why is this a paragraph?
Plural.
Oh.
Plural. Yeah. Yeah, it gets better.
Oh.
So he has the boosted gear and the creation gear. The creation gear is a special dragon-type sacred gear that allows the user to make anything in existence, as long as it's smaller than 1,000 by 1,000 meters.
What? That's a perfectly reasonable limit.
And the balance breaker upgrade to it is galaxy creation.
So what I'm hearing is that if the author doesn't fuck up, I get to see some Gurren Lagann final mode
Yes.
action at some point if I
Yep.
read the story.
Mhm.
Because if I
Yep.
don't see galaxies being thrown like stars, you fucked up.
It cannot create sacred gears, however. In terms of power, the creation gear is equal to a god-killing gear. No, the creation gear is a god-killing gear, my dude. It would be considered a god-killing gear because
If it's equal to the Longinus type, then it is a
Yeah.
Longinus
Yeah.
type.
Yeah.
If the literal only limitation is size and you cannot make other gears,
that's not a limitation.
that's barely a limitation. All you said is it can't replicate itself. That's basically its limitation.
Yeah. It houses the cosmic creation dragon Andromeda, a dragon that came from the Andromeda galaxy. Oh, yeah. Very
Of
clever.
course. How could I not know that?
Andromeda was one of the few beings that learned the secret of the beginning of the universe and its creation, and used those secrets to create her whole galaxy. So she's usurping God's creation, okay?
That'll go well.
And
Why
she
are we
left
still reading
the galaxy she created to find something interesting to do. And she felt a calling to the Milky Way. The balance breaker is called Cosmic Forge Master, which allows him to create anything he wants up to the size of a galaxy. However, it taxes his stamina and can send him into a coma for even years. The purpose of this sacred gear is unknown, as it could be used to create a world with life of its own, or if it's the god from the Bible's backup plan if things in the universe lead to destruction. Andromeda is a prankster as she painted Dregs white and helped Roxas paint Albion red, but she is kind to others. So, Roxas, this lad here, is already aware of the supernatural, because apparently the backstory to the creation gear already has Roxas having painted the wings of the two heavenly dragons their opposite color. And for him to do that would require him to have existed before they were turned into sacred gears, which was over several thousand years ago.
Uh-huh.
Also, she loves Roxas, is a tsundere, and has a crush on D-Rag. Roxas Hyuga is an American descendant from Cubans and Japanese. He lives in South Florida with his Cuban father and Japanese mother and two sisters. He learned skills and guns with his dad, while learning swords in hand-to-hand with his mom, because his parents were both assassins in an anime. His hobbies are gaming, anime, manga, and robotic engineering. His gaming hobby has given him the chance to go to the pro leagues, where he wins more than $5,000. That's it's real impressive, kid. $5,000. After graduating college with 4 different bachelor's degrees in 4 years, he had difficulty finding a job.
You're gonna need... Okay, that part's at least realistic.
Not if you have 4 degrees.
I know people with 4 degrees that can't get a job.
Okay, that's fine. So, that was until in the mail he received a letter telling him that he was hired by Kulo Academy. Because that's how hiring works, is that you just get a letter in the mail one day and the company's like, you work for us now. Get over here and get to your job, you're late.
Well, is that not how it worked for you?
No.
Get over here! You're hired.
I mean, I guess you could technically say my first job when I was working for the tip line was somewhat like that, in that they did call me and I was like, yeah, I can work in Vermont, and they're like, great, you're hired. And apparently don't even need an interview because they just needed people who had a pulse, which, according to my stats, is a very small number. Anyway, so after he got this letter, he went to go find a Gundam. And that's where the story begins. And he's not a happy man, because even though he has mastered all of these skills and he's a pro gamer, and he was hired straight out of college to work for a private academy in Japan, which he also happens to speak the language for. He's antisocial and stayed away from others until his best friend, Jack Patton, reached out to him. An incident involving him during his high school years with the death of his friend caused him to go out as the vigilante, tricky rebel, who would fight gangs, thugs, and cops. When he got caught, he would hack the police and delete his data. Police were baffled. His tricky rebel days were meant to prevent others from becoming like him, but it was also as a means of revenge against the people that killed Jack. because Jack Patton was shot by a corrupt cop.
I have shot no one, and I do not possess a gun.
Gets worse.
Don't swat me.
It gets worse when he is involved in the rescue attempt of the mayor's son who was kidnapped. The commotion of Roxas and the thugs who kidnapped the kid caused the police to show up. An unknown shooter fired his gun, and the bullet hits the child and kills him. However, this caused Roxas to lose control and rampage like a monster and torturing literally everyone in the town to death until his mother stopped him. This part of his past haunted him until he was able to confront it after going with his marriage proposal to Rias. And all of the other girls.
There's a list for the harem.
Yes.
Oh dear Christ.
He's part of the Hyuga clan of Omanomaji, a
Onmyoji.
secret to him that was kept until his parents told him about it. He was trained by his parents while never knowing the reasoning, as the training regimen they put him through would kill people. But in doing this training, he was capable of performing Senjutsu and Omanomaji-jutsu. Thanks to his training, he was able to resist Yojutsu to a degree. The question of him practicing it is unknown, as he is also learning how to use Norse magic and every other magic school. His harem includes the following: every female character in D times D.
Great. Can we
Might
be
as
done
well
with this
be.
garbage now?
And at least one from Campione, apparently.
Oh, where's that one?
Athena from Campione, it's
Athena.
the end of the
Oh.
first line.
Oh, it's not even like Athena from the D times D verse. It's just straight Athena from Campione. Kana.
Who?
He's looting the
Wait.
lolly.
Oh, phew, thank God. I thought for a second we were including fucking Fire Emblem Fates in this, which would be a dragon lolly.
It is a dragon lolly.
Oh, God. I'm even more angry at Fates than I was before now.
Wait, was it... Gate? What the fuck?
And Kana is from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
No, here's the thing. I'm hoping that's just a... Like... I'm really hoping that's not the one from the Dragon Maid, because I don't remember there being a character named Shizuka. But I'm gonna look just in case. Is there a character named... No, there isn't. Oh, thank Christ. If we're lucky, it's an OC.
Anyway, the non-boo monster sisters proceeds to list like 30. Gabriel, Amaterasu, and of course, Ophis. Well, you know, it's 9:04, and I think it's about time to pack the hell up and ship the hell out. So, hopefully, by the time Tuesday rolls around, I'll stop being sick finally. It's been like 3 weeks and running now or something, and this is more suffering for me than it is for you guys to listen to me cough, because I'm the one sitting here cringing in pain every single time I do cough, because my diaphragm is literally tearing itself apart from how many times it's been forcefully contracted.
So that's about right.
Yep.
But anyway, try and make it to the Tuesday stream. It's the same time, same place, 7 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll try and cover some fictions. I'll try and be better about not being amazingly sick. You know, we're going to try a lot of things here. It's going to be a real, it's going to be real. I guess I'm not going to try and append anything onto that. It's going to be real. But not much else to say. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, probably don't tell your family. You probably don't want your family knowing about this. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, because there's always more and it always gets worse.